Follow us on Instagram at KBLA 1580.
Follow the leader.
Are you ready?
The station leading the way with exclusive interviews,
Follow the leader.
stimulating conversation, and intellectual discourse that empowers, enlightens, and informs.
Follow the leader.
Follow the leader at KBLA 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Keep following the leader.
Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
Hey Zoe, I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light, see the light.
Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to talk about one of our brain's limited resources, attention. Before we continue, I should mention that you're definitely going to want to take the multitasking test that I uploaded recently, as we will be referring to the mind games that are in that video. While everything I say here will make some sense if you don't watch it, I can guarantee that it'll be a much better experience if you do. Now, if you watched that video, you probably had many difficulties with the counting and focusing exercises that I presented. Some of you may have even been frustrated at how impossible they seem to be. Well, spoiler alert, they were meant to be nearly impossible to do, and it's because of our brain's limited cognitive ability with attention-intensive tasks. Before we go into further detail about these tasks, I think it's important that we discuss the psychology of attention as a whole. Now, there are a lot of studies and theories surrounding attention and cognitive science, so we are only going to touch on a few at a high level: selective attention, inattentional blindness, and change blindness. Selective attention is when our brain focuses on one thing while filtering out everything else. Attention is a limited resource, we only have so much. Therefore, we need a strategy to help us guide our attentions to the important things while ignoring the unimportant things. If we didn't have this, then we'd be equally focusing on everything, which ironically would make us focus on nothing. For example, right now you are watching this video and I bet you have paid no attention to where your feet are placed or the color of the walls in your room. They're not important to the task you are currently performing, which is watching this video, so your brain ignores them. There are two main models surrounding selective visual attention that help explain how we see: the spotlight model and the zoom lens model. The spotlight model theorizes that our vision is like a spotlight with a focal point, an area surrounding the focal point called the fringe, and an area outside the fringe called the margin. The focal point is where everything is 100% in focus. The fringe is where we see things, but not as clearly, and the margin is where we don't really see anything. The zoom lens model adds an element to the spotlight model by also suggesting that we can increase the size of the focal point at the detriment of how well we process the information. For example, let's say I'm looking at this sign in the park. My focal point is the sign, my fringe consists of the flowers surrounding the sign, and my margin consists of the other people walking around the park. Now, I'm reasonably focused on the sign, so I can read what it says, but as I increase what I'm focusing on to include the flowers and then maybe the people, I kind of focus on everything and nothing at the same time. The emphasis is no longer the sign and what it says, but more so that there is a sign in the park with flowers and people. Therefore, I can't read the sign when my focus is like this. Your brain is like a computer. If you give it one tiny task to focus on, it will do it fast and efficiently. But as you start to give it more and more stuff to process, it will get slower. In the case of your brain, it might also make mistakes. This also works with how we hear things too. Have you ever noticed when you're at a party, despite everyone talking around you, you're able to focus on the conversation and the words of the people right in front of you? It's kind of amazing that you can filter out all that noise to just focus on one particular sound coming from one particular place. This effect is known as the cocktail party effect and was studied by Colin Cherry. He did an experiment where he played 2 audio clips in each of his participants' ears and asked them to focus on one of the clips. What he found was that his participants were able to describe the
Yo, the VOR on a Tuesday, back in the building with another thought-provoking topic. Listen, it's called inattention blindness. Goodness gracious. Inattention blindness. You know, have you noticed sometimes you work really hard to do good things for your relationship, for your partner, and you may feel unseen, you may feel unheard. It's almost like you're on a forced attention fast. They're not giving you the attention that you want. Inattention blindness. It's a very interesting topic. What is it? Tonight's topic, made you look, inattention blindness in relationships. Are you blind to the good things within yourself and your significant other? Inattention blindness involves failing to perceive something because your attention is focused on something else, such as a task, an object, or a person. I'm even going to say a scenario, a situation, a circumstance. For example, intentional blindness can often contribute to traffic accidents when a driver's attention is somewhere else, causing them to miss important information. What information are you missing in your relationship? Are you simply going with the flow? Are you not present? I'm going to argue tonight. 1-800-920-1580, non-judgmental space. Get in here. Let's talk. I want to start this national discussion now. I'm going to argue because expectations are so important, that we are so focused on getting what we want that it prevents us from appreciating what we have. I'm sorry. We're so focused, right? We're like Michael Jackson in the studio, Kobe Bryant in the gym. We are so focused on receiving something from another that we become inattentionally blind to maybe what our partner is giving us. Have you ever been given something really good from your partner, but because you're focused on exactly what you want and what they gave you, although it is good, you didn't really appreciate it? You didn't really acknowledge it? It was something to be cast aside because your attention was squarely focused on what it is that you wanted? Oh, inattention blindness. How many of you are in relationships with people you are not present with? You're just going with the flow, hoping that your expectation ship will come in. Oh, Lord, the phenomena of inattentional blindness casts a shadow over the profound connections we strive to nurture. Right? Defined as the failure to perceive something due to a focused attention elsewhere, inattentional blindness can obscure the very essence of what makes our relationships meaningful and fulfilling. As we navigate the complex terrain of partnership, are we truly blind to the good things within ourselves and our significant others? Are we blind? I'm very interested to know. I'm very interested to know. Have you struggled to discover the good in you because you're too busy trying to prove that you are good for your significant other? You've missed everything about you that matters because you want to make sure that you get acknowledged for showing up according to their expectations. How can couples create intentional rituals to combat inattentional blindness and foster a deeper connection within their relationships? I'm very interested to know. Can fostering a culture of appreciation and celebration help mitigate inattentional blindness in relationships? I'm very interested to know. I want to know what you think. How do you show up? And what do you miss? Right? How can you improve how you show up? Do you know how to do it? Is there a correlation between inattentional blindness and the longevity of relationships? How does the presence of distractions impact the level of inattentional blindness in relationships? Can practicing active listening skills enhance awareness and reduce inattentional blindness in relationships? I got real questions. Do you have any answers? 1-800-920-1580. I want to have a conversation. I want to talk to you about it. How does the concept of forgiveness relate to overcoming inattentional blindness in relationships? Can setting intentional moments of reflection help reduce inattentional blindness within relationships? That's such a powerful question. All of these questions are like Barry Bonds' home runs. They're going into McCovey Cove right now. But I really like that last one. How does the concept of forgiveness relate to overcoming inattentional blindness in relationships? Is there a link between inattentional blindness and the quality of communication in relationships? 1-800-920-1580. I want to talk to you. How do you show up? Or are you just ready to show out? When I come forward, the voice of reason shall continue this fire. Let's get it.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When you use Bounce dryer sheets and your clothes look amazing, it's the sheet. Less static in your life? Yeah, it's the sheet. Smelling fresher than ever? It's the sheet. Oh, so soft fabric? Ooh la la. It's the sheet. Less wrinkles on your clothes? You know it's the sheet. Bounce dryer sheets. More freshness, more softness. Less static, less wrinkles. It's the sheet.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
If you say you care about the community, you have to also care about the climate. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got your black. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles is a nonprofit law firm that protects and advances the rights of the most underserved, leveling the playing field and ensuring that everyone can have access to the justice system. Every year, LAFLA provides free, high-quality legal services to more than 100,000 people living in poverty across greater Los Angeles. Their unique combination of neighborhood offices, self-help centers at courthouses, and domestic violence clinics puts Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles on the front lines in vulnerable communities and at the forefront of change. LAFLA's expert team of attorneys, paralegals, and support staff works to provide direct representation, offer counsel and advice, provide referrals, and educate the community about their legal rights through workshops and seminars. With locations all over LA, you can access their services or volunteer to help no matter where you live. And if you have an urgent issue, call 213-235-0060. That's 213-235-0060. To get legal help, make a donation, or volunteer, visit lafla.org. lafla.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Now let's get it all in perspective. For all y'all enjoyment, a song y'all can step with. Y'all appointed me to bring rap justice, but I ain't 5-0, y'all know it's Nas, yo. Grey Goose and a whole lot of hydro. Only describe us as soldier survivors. Stay laced in the best, well dressed with finesse in the white tee, looking for wifey. Thug girl who fly and talk so nicely. Put her in the coupe so she can feel the nice breeze. We could drive through the city, no doubt, but don't say my car's topless. Say the G, this is out. Newness, here's the anthem. Put your hand up that you wish with, count your loot with. Push the pool stick in your new crib, same hand that you hoop with. Swing around like you stupid. King of the town, yeah, I been that. You know I click clack, where you and your men's at. Through the Smurf, through the WAP baseball bat. Rooftop like we bringing 88 back. They shoot. Made you look. You a slave to a page in my rhyme book. Getting big money, playboy, your time's up. Where them gangsters, where them dimes at? They shoot. Made you look. You a slave to a page in my rhyme book. Getting big money, playboy.
Hi there, it's Susan from SusanWinter.net. Thanks for joining me today. Thank you so much for subscribing. And thank you for your wonderful commentary, those of you in my YouTube family. I love it. I am reading another one of your questions today, and this one has to do with when you want more attention than your partner is giving you. How do you make that happen? How do you state it? And how do you do it without looking weak or needy or desperate? So this is from Debbie, and Debbie writes, could you perhaps do a video on how to handle it when your partner doesn't give you the attention you need, whether it's at the start of a new relationship or in a longer-term relationship? For example, how do you speak to them about it without seeming clingy? And how do you handle your own emotions of needing that much attention from them? Thank you. Debbie, this is great. And you know, this touches on an issue that I see all the time. In not only in the people that I counsel, but in the video requests that I get. So you have a need, and automatically you're muting yourself and editing yourself because your greater fear is if I speak up, I'll look clingy or needy or desperate. And I want to remind everyone that this feeling that you have, that you'd like attention from your partner, is completely normal. This is part of the relationship contract, stated or unstated. You attend each other's needs. That's why you're in a relationship. And yes, you're getting to know each other. Part of getting to know each other, if it's new.
Stop it. Just pause it for 1 second. maybe we got it wrong. Maybe we're not here to attend each other's needs. I hear her. This is what I will say. And you don't have to agree, but I will say this. I think we are supposed to connect. I think that's part of the human condition. Yes, we're supposed to connect with one another. But I don't think we're supposed to be the butler of each other's needs. I do not think that that is healthy. Maybe in 100 years, this idea will catch on. I don't think we're supposed to attend to each other's needs. I don't think we're supposed to be the answer, right? I don't think we're supposed to be the answer for our partners. I just don't think that. But, and I hear what she's saying, and I understand it. I get it. And it is in alignment with what the prevailing thought is today, but I think that's incorrect. I think we lose the ability to remain attentive. Somebody, listen, if you disagree, call me, 1-800-920-1580. I think we lose the ability to remain attentive to our partners because they're not interesting. They're just not interesting, right? Can we be honest? Most relationships are designed based on the notion of what you can do for me. Men want women to do things for us, right? Sex, food, babies, nurturing, taxes, advice, therapy. Men want women, and we will classify those women as good women, right? If they are not doing those things, rubbing our ego, the whole nine. If they're not doing those things, we're like, hey, you didn't bring no peace, right? Women, on the other hand, security, provision. You understand what I'm saying? And again, I believe that this inattention blindness, I think, is rooted on the fact that most people are not growing, i.e. glowing, in relationships. I believe this to be true. And once you get past the 18-month honeymoon period, once you get, and you really get down to the nuts and bolts of everyday life, you understand? And you find that people are not new. You find that people are not expanding. People are not challenging themselves to be more. You wake up and it's over. Right? Now, if you have some resources, if you have some money, it might take a little bit longer to be over. But I believe, for the most part, most people are not present because most people are not fulfilled internally. Most people are empty internally. They're not even present. We are not even present with ourselves. Most people don't like conflict, although conflict is a conduit to growth. Most people don't like difficult conversations. So imagine if your relationship is floating along and you're not being challenged. Your wounds are being catered to by a needs butler. At some point, how many times have you heard the story where there's a couple and everybody's needs is being met and everybody's happy and everybody's cool, but still somebody cheats? Wait a minute, I thought everything was good. I thought everything was in alignment. I thought everything was right. It was paradise. Do you see? Relationships are supposed to challenge and irritate those wounds, right? The wounds lead to elevation. You can look at elevation as the pearl in a clam. The relationship is the clam. Listen to me now, and that the sand inside the clam, it makes the clam uncomfortable. It's rubbing against the clam's raw flesh. It's painful. Spiritual elevation is painful. Maturation, spiritual maturation, painful. And many of us have framed relationship in such a way that we think as long as everything is peaceful, as long as everything is good, as long as I'm getting what I signed up for, that this is a good relationship. And I'm here to tell you, inattentional blindness will show up. It will. Inattentional blindness reminds me a little bit. Do you remember that old Twilight Zone episode where the man died, but he didn't know he was dead, and he was in a casino, and he just kept winning? He just kept winning. Roll the dice, 7. Roll the dice, 11. Jackpot, 21. Blackjack. Just kept winning until it dawned on him, I'm not in heaven, I'm in hell. Because it was all good. He won so much he got frustrated and tired. There were no stakes. Do you see? I believe inattentional blindness can emerge in a situation like that. And I think for many of us, we are so focused on getting exactly what we want without any mental, psychological, physical perturbation that we think if I got it all, I would be good. No, you would be dissatisfied, because part of being a human being is to be able to shed spiritually, is to be able to change and grow and evolve, and that's not comfortable. When we come forward, the voice of reason, I'm going to the phone lines. Who's calling in? 1-800-920-1580.
When you get Timberland up, let the music diffuse all attention. Baller convention, free admission. Hustlers, dealers, and killers can move swift. Girls get close, you can feel where the tools kept. All my just coming homies, parolees. Get money, leave the beef alone slowly. Get out my face, you people so phony.
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. Plans are in the works for the 114th Annie Malone May Day Parade. It's set to take place this year on Sunday, May 19th in downtown St. Louis. It's the oldest African-American parade in the U.S. and raises money for Annie Malone Children and Family Services. Malone was a well-known businesswoman, inventor, and philanthropist who founded and developed a large commercial and educational enterprise centered on cosmetics for African-American women. Former President Donald Trump and other co-defendants are still trying to fight for using their First Amendment rights in the election interference case filed by Fulton County DA Fonnie Willis, who is black. Fulton County Superior Court Judge Scott McAfee ruled last week that political speech isn't impenetrable from prosecution if it's used to further criminal activity. Trump's attorneys stated that they've called for a review of the order. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
California just launched the Certified Wellness Coach profession to help your workforce meet the increased demands for youth mental health services. Learn more at cawellnesscoach.org, supported by the California Department of Health Care Access and Information.
Follow the leader.
KBLA Talk 1580.
Follow the leader.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram at KBLA 1580.
Follow the leader.
Are you ready?
The station leading the way with exclusive interviews,
Follow the leader.
stimulating conversation, and intellectual discourse that empowers, enlightens, and informs.
Follow the leader.
Follow the leader at KBLA 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Keep following the leader.
Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
Hey LA, be an eco-friendly hero. Join LADWP's Power Savers program and use your smart thermostat to help ease strain on the electric grid during peak electric demand. You'll save electricity while you lower your bill. Plus, as a power saver, you can get up to $185 in prepaid gift cards. Don't have a smart thermostat? No problem. Shop and sign up at ladwp.com/Power Savers program. That's ladwp.com/Power Savers program. To help combat climate change, LADWP is helping neighborhoods have better access to electric vehicles by awarding nearly $130 million in EV rebates to customers just like you. From big savings on used EVs to building new charging plazas, LADWP is charging ahead to help all Angelinos experience the benefits of EVs. Get rebates of up to $4,000 for a used EV and $1,750 for a charger. Learn more at ladwp.com/EV. That's ladwp.com/EV. Fight climate change. This Earth Day, April 22nd, go Metro and ride for free. You'll make a difference. Metro buses run on clean energy, making every day Earth Day. Together, we can clear the air and connect our communities. Start your journey at metro.net.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Stay Housed LA has the resources you need to know your rights and the legal support to back them up. The COVID-19 pandemic has cost people their jobs and livelihoods. This has left an estimated 1/3 of households not being able to make rent and facing losing their homes. This is a fear no one in our community should have to face. You have rights, though, and Stay Housed LA is here to help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between the County of Los Angeles, the City of Los Angeles, and local community and legal service providers. Together, they provide tenants with the information and support needed to exercise their rights so they can remain safely in their homes. Find out more about your rights by participating in a virtual tenant workshop. Get the legal assistance you need. Find additional resources in Los Angeles County and the City of Los Angeles. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA County for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. That's stayhousedla.org. Or call their hotline at 213-694-0040. We've got your black with a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
That was another way. I would smoke once an hour. That didn't work either. All that would happen at some point of the day, I would end up doubling up. Other ways that I tried to quit was I stopped buying cigarettes totally. But if I took 3 puffs off of 15 friends, those didn't count because they weren't my cigarettes and they weren't full cigarettes. I went through a lot.
Every attempt is part of your story to quit for good. Visit Kick It California today at kickitca.org.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? I just want to be really brief. What I realize is that a lot of people are dating people and in relationships with people and still begging for them to love them, right? Let me say that again. A lot of people are in relationships with people, dating people, right? And in committed relationships and still begging people to love them, still begging for attention, still begging to be needed, right? Still begging for their partner to hug them, kiss them, be there for them, right? Text them, right? Tell them that they love them. And I've spoken to so much people in my life, and a lot of them are begging for their partners to tell them that they love them. Something that should happen naturally, correct? But they're begging for people for love and attention. Listen, I'm here to tell you that if you're begging for love, attention, affection, or anything, that relationship is not for you. Stop holding on to people and begging for prerequisites of a relationship and calling that happiness. That's not happiness, right? That's not happiness. You're not living in a happy relationship. If love, respect, affection, and attention is not given freely, it isn't worth having. If you have to beg your partner to act right, if you have to beg your partner to stop cheating, if you have to beg your partner to pay attention.
Listen, when it starts getting a little silly, I got to shut it down. For the most part, he was correct. Begging for attention is not cool. But the whole begging your partner to act right, see, we got to get rid of the childish beliefs about relationships. People act exactly how they are. If you even form your lips to say you need to act right, you with the wrong person. Right? Do you believe that? If you form your lips to say you need to act right, you're with the wrong person. Is that true or false? I want to know what you think. I don't want to give it away. Do you think that that's right? You need to act right. First off, it's acting right according to your desires. It's acting right according to what you think is right. Most people haven't learned how to accept themselves, and they definitely not accepting other people. When's the last time you've been in a relationship with someone you completely accepted? Now, I'm not telling you to accept horrible behavior. I'm simply saying, good, bad, or indifferent, have you been with somebody and you felt contentment with them? Like, yes, that's who they are, and I'm okay with it. Most people have never done that. Most people have never done that with another person, and they damn sure ain't done it with themselves. Most people are in relationships according to this definition of inattentional blindness. Inattentional blindness happens in everyday life. For example, while a person is driving a car, they may fail to notice smaller events happening around them as they focus on the road. Have you ever been driving and just you listening to a song, or you may have picked up your phone to catch a text message, and you look up and you feel like, I've driven 3 miles since I did those little small tasks. A lot of us miss a lot in relationships, right? Because what's going on? We're really focused on what we want, right? And or flip it another way. Sometimes in relationships, we're so focused on the negative. This is why forgiveness is so difficult, right? This is why we don't have a strong understanding of forgiveness. We will focus on something that we agreed we moved past once having a conversation. We'll be like, you good? I'm good. I apologize? Yes. Do you accept my apology? Yes. And it'll still be there, and we'll still be focusing on that. That's inattentional blindness. We will focus on something that we forgave each other for, and then we'll miss all these other good things because we're focusing on something that's actually tainting and coloring us moving forward. So every second we move forward, it's being colored by something we claimed we forgave each other for. Inattentional blindness, right? Blind to the good things that are happening. How many times somebody has done something in a relationship? Tell me if this is your relationship or if you've done this. You did something wrong. You apologized for it. Your apology was accepted. And you changed your behavior to match the words used in your apology. But it seems as if nothing you do can wipe away the initial infraction, because that person is still focused, right, on the initial infraction. So everything else gets contaminated by that. Inattentional blindness happens in everyday life. For example, while a person is driving a car, they may fail to notice smaller events happening around them as they focus on the road. Sometimes the road is the initial infraction. That becomes the road. That's the road we on. And these smaller events that are happening, let me go get her some flowers, right? Let me, adjust my schedule to accommodate her. Or vice versa, right? These smaller gestures don't get acknowledged because of inattentional blindness. I'm sorry. Somebody is talking to me in the chat. Inattentional blindness. This is crazy. Listen, when I come forward, we got Oakland, we got Broward County, we got Pensacola, Florida. We all over the nation tonight. If you want to get in and talk to me about tonight's conversation, please call me. The number to dial is 1-800-920-1580. When I come forward, the voice of reason will be talking to the people.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
We ask seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your Senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
Sometimes we lose, sometimes we win. Sometimes we try to fit it all in. Sometimes we don't know what's in store. Sometimes we find what we're looking for. Sometimes we're rolling easy and free. Sometimes 1 and 1 makes 3. So much to love along this ride. That's why Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company and Affiliates, Columbus, Ohio.
Helping to broaden your political and moral imagination with our 2024 Climate Justice Campaign. We're KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment through the arts. Tia Chucha Central Cultural is on a mission to transform community in the Northeast San Fernando Valley and beyond through ancestral knowledge, the arts, literacy, and creative engagement. The Northeast San Fernando Valley has a population of about 500,000, the size of the city of Oakland, yet it has no bookstores, art galleries, or full-fledged cultural spaces until Tia Chucha's opened its doors in 2001. Founded by renowned poet and activist Luis Rodriguez, Tia Chucha's Cultural Center provides a year-round free or low-cost arts and literacy bilingual intergenerational programming in mural painting, music, dance, writing, visual arts, healing art sessions, and healing talking circles. Activities also include Mexica, Aztec dance, indigenous cosmology, philosophy, and 2 weekly open mic nights, one in Spanish, the other in English. In addition, they host author readings, film screenings, and art exhibits. To express yourself, heal yourself, attend an event, or volunteer, please visit www.tiachucha.org. That's TIACHUCHA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
I can make you put your phone down. 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 Let me cruise through the city. I can make you put your phone down. You ain't gon' text no one when you with me. I can make you put your phone down. So you can show me attention. And I'll cut mine off too. Boy, that'll help when I listen. I can make you put your phone down. Baby, we don't need it. Every time you get a message, act like you don't see it.
She says, "Hi, Matthew and team. I was lucky enough to find personal growth in my early 20s and learned everything from self-esteem, interpersonal communication, to Kundalini yoga and Vipassana meditation. I'm happy to say it all worked. I became someone that attractive men would ask out and step up for. There was never any hesitation to commit. There were problems, yes, but commitment was not one of them. Then my mum got sick. I, alongside my dad, endured a traumatic 5 years trying to save her. It was heartbreaking seeing her suffer every day. Every bit of life was slowly squeezed out of her by an unknown illness until she suffocated. After 3 years in solitude, slowly losing every part of my own life from my successful career to dating, I started online dating and opened up a new relationship category, casual. The intense grief and isolation led to me saying yes to relationship dynamics I never would have considered before. It was amazing, deep, healing, sexy, and fun. But now I'm not so lonely anymore, and I'm starting to feel happy in my life. I stopped all casual relationships and have been single for a year. I have a new successful career, amazing friends, I lost 10 pounds, and am doing well in all areas, except my romantic story. Guys not wanting to commit, or just wanting to be casual, or not available, or really awesome available guys asking me out, but the attraction is not mutual. I feel like something in me broke. What happened to me, and what can I do?" When we go through difficult things in our life, they can really kind of mess us up in a way that makes it hard for us to have that same energy that we had before. Life can kind of beat us down and make it hard for us to come back with that same sense of play, that same sense of joy, that same sense of wide-eyed kind of exploration that can be very, very attractive to people. Now, I also think that what you've been through, the suffering that you've been through, is one of the things that makes you more attractive, but it's a different kind of attraction. You have to be really careful of comparing the attention that you're getting now to the attention that you got when you were in your early 20s. Because the kind of attention you got in your early 20s was different. It may have felt the same. In other words, it may be like, no, it wasn't just people wanting to go home with me. It was people who wanted to.
See, him talking right after Erykah Badu. Let me tell you something. Most beautiful women can make you put your phone down. It's easy to be attentive when pleasure is on deck. Right? Y'all seen Erykah Badu? Y'all seen them chaps she was wearing, them leather chaps? Listen, that's easy. I will put my phone down in the presence of them chaps. That's easy. But back to my point about most people really being empty, spiritually penurious, impoverished, racked with guilt and anxiety and fear and doubt. The guy was defining a certain type of attraction or attractiveness that come with that level of consciousness. Do you see? Man, if you're around somebody who is exceedingly beautiful, right? Body looking just, looking like Thanksgiving dinner at the hands of Big Mama. Listen.
Get ready.
But they got all of this baggage with them. You're going to experience inattentional blindness. At some point, you're going to be like, all right, the sex and all is great, but when it's over, it's you. You're here. And guess what? If you there, then that means some of what's in them is reflected back in you. You came with some of that mess too. And then there's misery loves company. Do you see? Made you look. That's tonight's topic. I made you look. Inattentional blindness in relationships. I want to know, how do you level up to such a degree that you cause people to be present in your presence? So many people think because they're attractive, or because they got money, or because they can cook, or because they have a talent. So many people think that that's going to hold the attention of people. Don't you know most people visiting you so they can escape themselves? You're a vacation for most people. They are running from themselves. And so they run to you with a list of demands for you to deliver unto. Do you understand that is par for the course? I don't like me. I am not satisfied with who I am. But I done fooled somebody into believing that I am confident, that I am successful, that I am happy, and I'm going to act this role as if I was Denzel. I'm going to act as if I was Clark Gable. I'm going to act as if I was the greatest actor of all time. I'm going to give performative empathy. I'm going to perform everything that I need to perform, and I'm going to get what I want until I don't want it no more. And then you're going to see that I was never present. 1-800-920-1580. Then you're going to wake up one day and recognize that I've never been there. Are y'all ready for tonight? I feel like I'm just getting started right now. Let's keep it cooking. Sean, Oakland, California, get in here.
Hey, brother, what a show, man. You're on fire, as like always.
Man.
You know, well, in this situation that you're talking about, which is relationships, which is, very important to me and all that, the biggest thing that I would like people to be aware of is if you have an agenda, in your mind,
come on, Sean,
as a male or female, you're going to have to, reconcile that at some point. You have to bring the books together at some point in time, right? So my advice as someone who's, I probably had an agenda at some point in time in my life. I don't know what the agenda would have been way back in the day. But I'll tell you what, when you have an agenda, you limit yourself. What you want to do is have something where you're working together as a team. And you're working together, and respecting someone else's wants and needs. And I know that sounds all fluffy and all that kind of stuff, but that's the truth, brother, in relationships. If you want that woman, you want that hottie, you want that baddie, you want that person that's kicking tail in all around, and you're like, wow, I want to be with that person. Hey, don't have an agenda. Think about working together as a team and coming together and getting that pinnacle.
Wait, stay with me, Sean, because you cooking, and I like what you cooking, man. When we come forward, we got to go back to Oakland and let him finish this one.
Put your phone down. Boy, that ain't gonna stop me. I can make you put your phone down. I can make you put your phone down. I can make you put your phone down. I can make you put your phone down.